Hello and welcome to Bunnies TV Team List Tuesday. And the big news is Coach Benny Hornby has selected Cody at 7 and Jack Whiten at 6. So we've tried something different and I like it. Dion Tiapa misses out, but Cody, a lot of experience. And Jack Whiten, closer to the ball, I think it could be a good move. It's been a big day. I started early out there at the Rabbitohs Centre for the training run. And I get there nice and early, fresh off a night shift, thanks very much. And there's no other media there. And I was thinking, what's going on? And I just, all right, I went and set up. And in the end, Channel 9, Fox League, and all the other media decided to brush the training footage. And I was the only one there. And I got some exclusive footage for Bunnies TV. Then I hung around and there was a Indigenous ceremony, some great stuff there. And then the press conference was Cody Walker, Alex Johnston, and Jacob Gagai, and got some stuff there too, got some photos. It's been a big day. Spoke to Nathan Merritt, got some good photos. I spoke to Uncle Joe Walker, who designed the jersey. So it's all happening. And I've tried to get as much of the stuff up as I could straight away. The training footage premiered a little while ago. It was great footage too. So Channel 9 and that missed out. They got there later. Danica Mason and all the media got there later for the presser and everything. But exclusive Bunnies TV footage in the morning, first thing in the morning. And the boys had a game of soccer. And it was good footage. So make sure you go back and have a look at that after this. I've also got my Alex Johnston exclusive one-on-one interview premiering at 6 p.m. on Bunnies TV YouTube. I'll look at the comments because this is another interactive show, just like the Sunday show I've been doing. Team List Tuesday, you can see it across the bottom there, coming to you via StreamYard. And Darren Finlay, welcome, mate. Big fan of the club and the show. He said he had to do something, and yes, he did. I had a look. We're playing the Eels Saturday night, Super Saturday. There's 3 grades on, and I'm going to go through the teams in a minute. But we're 1-9, I think, on the season. Something terrible like that. We've got the worst defense in the NRL, so something's got to change. The Eels aren't going real well either, and they've sacked Brad Arthur. They've lost 4 in a row, so they're sort of in all sorts as well. So it's the battle of the bastards out there on Saturday night. I'll just show the comment. Darren Finlay, he had to do something. Matt Dixon's joined us and he said, is Jack Whiten playing 6 and Cody playing 7? Yes, that is exactly what's happening. Ned Kelly's joined us. Hello, mate. Hello, legend. He said, that's what happens when you are running last. Well, that's it. You got to try something because it's the old saying, you keep doing what you're doing, nothing changes. It's a sign of insanity or whatever it is, something like that. You know what I mean? So he did have to change something. And here's Oscar. It's Sir Boys. He said, hey, Mavo, how was it today at Heffron? Mate, it was great. It really was an enjoyable day. I took some amazing photos. If you haven't seen them, they're up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. There's one of Nath Merritt and Jack Whiten. And I knew Nath was there because they mentioned him on the stage. And he's going to be walking around the field on Saturday night out there at Acor. So you can go to the game just to see that. And he looked well, Nathan. I seen him talking to Jack White, and I thought, I've got to go over and talk to these 2 guys. And I just barged over and I interrupted Jack. I felt a bit bad, but that was sweet. And I said, can I get a photo with you 2 legends? And I did get a photo, and just have a look at this. There they are. Jack Whiten and Nathan Merritt, 2 absolute NRL legends. So I'm pretty happy with that photo, as you can imagine. It was an absolute belter. Look at those 2 guys. So I could almost leave that up on the screen. And I'll just get through the comments. I've got a lot of stuff to show you. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great show. I've got an exclusive one-on-one chat with Nathan Merritt coming up in a minute. I'll play that first. But I'll just get through some of the comments so I don't get lost behind. Chris Cook, welcome, mate. big fan of the show as well. Helps me out a lot. He goes on the Pride and shares a lot of my content. He's a good man. He's always in the borough. He said, we just need to stick together. It'll make the great times to come more enjoyable. Well said, mate. And when I spoke to AJ, one of the things he said is our best footy's yet to come. So him and Jack Whiten are forming a combination. They could have got another try the other night, but it didn't happen. But yeah. And also more breaking news. It's all happening here on Bunnies TV on the TLT show. Matt Dixon, Rabbitohs signing Wayne Bennett for next year. Yes, they have. The super coaches coming back for 3 years to finish the job. There's unfinished business at the Rabbitohs, and he's coming back. The 9-time premiership winning 900 gamer, whatever he's coached, the legend. And, he's hopefully 2025 is a bit better than this year. That's all I can say. And yeah, here's a good one. Chris Cook, everyone get out there on Saturday night and get behind the boys. I'll be there. So, yeah, it's going to be a big night. They've got some entertainment on. They've got a young singer out there called Jadera, I think it's called. I think his name is. And he's won 2 arias. I must admit, I don't really know his music, but apparently he's pretty good. He's won some awards. He's a young Aussie Indigenous great singer. So another reason to get out there. Look, I'm going to show you this Nath Merritt video because it was the highlight of my day seeing him. He's had a couple of health issues, and last time I saw him was at the Koori Knockout last year, and then he had, he's had a few things wrong, but he looked well today. And have a listen to this. This is a world exclusive one-on-one chat. Only goes for 30 seconds with the great man, Nath Merritt. I'm here with Nath Merritt, and you've got to mention on the stage before, but you're going to be on the field on Saturday, walking around for the fans.
Yeah, it's going to be it's a great feeling being back in with the South Sydney Rabbitohs and back in the environment with the old boys, the ex-players, and represent the Indigenous round. So, giving heading over the ball to Merritt, one of the great players of the whole club, and it's going to be a great honour for me.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing you out there.
Yeah,
champion. So what about the smile on his face? Doesn't he look well too? The legend himself. And he's back, appearing for the club. And the club's organised an Indigenous committee now. I also saw Tricky out there, and he was smiling. Shout out to Tricky and Geordie. Got a nice photo with them too. And so, yeah, there's some Indigenous players are getting more involved with the club, and it's a good thing, obviously, for everyone. And here's a lovely comment from Styler. Off the back of that little chat with Merritt there. G'day, Mavo. Hope all is well, mate. Love the content you provide. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. And James Edgar's joined us on Facebook. Great news about Bennett. I can see a fair few changes to the squad. Yes. Well, will he bring the big broom through and tap people on the shoulder? I mentioned that the other day. I don't know. But there's going to be some roster changes. You can pretty much be assured of that. We're going to get to the team in a minute, but we're just going to get through the chat. And Flocky Velja has said, South Sydney till I die. Good comment, mate. I'll do like that. Matt Dixon said, should Sam take over coach after Wayne finished coaching? Well, that seems to be the accepted what's going to happen, but Sam's killing it over at Warrington. They might sign him again. So there's no guarantee we're going to get Sam back, but that's down the track. And Ned Kelly said, good to see Merritt looking so well. It really was. I was so stoked that I actually was able to grab him. And, and another highlight was talking to Uncle Joe Walker, who designed the jersey. I'll show you that in a minute. But we'll get to the team. I'm just going to bring up my article that I just released on bunniestv.au. Make sure you have a look at my article, even if you just click on there. And I've got some thoughts on the teams. I recap the games. There's some good photos in there, video. So, yeah, support my website, bunniestv.au. Thank you very much. So we'll get to the team that's dropped. And so obviously Jackie Boy had to go. If he's gone to 5'8", we needed a new centre. So the team to take on the Eels in round 12 Indigenous round at Accor Stadium, 7:35 Saturday night is Trell Mid at the back, AJ and Jake Gagai on the wings, Tane Milne and Cheeks. Michael Cheekham, he's back in the centres. Jack Whiten, Cody Walker, captain again. In the front row, Davey Morwale, Sean Kepi and Cookie at hooker, Hosty and Jairo in the second row, and Keon at lock. Little mix it up there, which I don't mind. Pistol Pete Mamazelos off the bench. He went all right the other day too. Talis Duncan, Leva Havili, Saliva, and Big Thomas Burgess. So it's a pretty good side. And I spoke to David Morton in the live chat when we were watching the training footage, and he said he likes the team. So well, I do too. I think we can beat the Eels. I mean, we've got to beat the Eels. We've got to win. Let's hope. The extended bench, Neon Dion Tiapa, Isaac Tuatupo Thompson, Matty French, Adam Christensen, and Bailey Bentley Harpe, who threw a great flick pass in the New South Wales Cup that I spoke about on my Sunday show. So yeah, it's an interesting team, and we'll just have a look at a bit more of the chat. P.E. Harama says next signing should be recruitment officer Peter O'Sullivan. Yeah, I heard some talk about that. That he's an all-time recruiter, and yeah, so he wouldn't look out of place. And Lockie Eville just said, yeah, what a combo Bennett and Sam would be, killer. Yeah, well, can't argue with that. Sammy Boy's one of the greats, and look at his results with Warrington. He's killing it. Love to get him back. Love to have the two of them. But yeah, maybe, who knows? If Bennett does a 3-year stint, by that stage, he's probably looking to finish up. Sammy Boy comes back. Don't know. We don't know. And Styler said, hopefully finish the year strong. We just got to sit through and embrace this year's pain while we do it. It has been painful. The signing of Wayne Bennett gives us some positives moving forward. Well, yes, it does. Some positive vibes. The super coach is coming back, but we still have to worry about this year and start turning things around this year. And Matt Dixon said, can Jack Whiten score a try on the weekend? Well, of course he can. He'll have more ball in his hands, and who knows? You can get the ball out to AJ on the left. Now, in my interview with AJ, I did mention to him about the graphic that I shared with him and Billy Slater, and there's been a debate raging on Facebook on the post. It's been seen by over 1 million people, and the two versions of the post, and people are saying, oh, you can't compare AJ to Billy, and a lot of the Papua New Guinean people on there are saying, yeah, but AJ's a champion, and they're both champion elite players. And the fact is that AJ's on 189 tries and Billy's on 190, and in a week or two, hopefully on Saturday, Billy's going to equal and then go past Billy Slater on the all-time list. And he's done that in 11 seasons, whereas Billy Slater's done it in 16 seasons. You can't compare the two. Billy's one of the greatest of all time, no doubt about that. But people are sort of saying, oh, AJ just had to catch the ball and score, and saying that it was like making out as if it was nothing. But, good players put themselves in position to score. And a lot of his tries, he hasn't just had to catch the ball and put it down. He's had to burn people and use his footwork and pass and back up. And yeah, so, the other news with AJ too is he's played 219 games and he's gone past the great Merritt, who I asked about in the interview that's coming up at 6:00. And so, yeah, it's ironic that AJ's played with Merritt, and he's also the three in front of him, Reno, Tom Burgess, and Sutt. He's played with them all. So this is an era of players that have got long careers. So, yeah, people that are saying that AJ, he's just a winger and he just catches the ball and flops over the line. He's had good players inside him. They couldn't be further from the mark. He's played 219 NRL games, the fourth most of all time, any Rabbitohs, and he'll end up being the greatest try scorer of all time too. He'll go past Ken Irvine. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of the guy, and I was thinking, I'm in the wingers club. I've played on the wing and for South and scored tries, and I know that sometimes it's, you've got to read the play. You don't just happen to be there at the right time and catching the ball in the right spot. You have got to be a footy player that puts himself in that spot. Anyway, Ned Kelly's saying something about the centre combo. Yeah, well, Cheeks and Tane. I know Tane played quite well the other night, but I thought he might end up staying as a bench forward and in there, but in the rotation. But and here's Graham Houser. He said, well said about AJ. Yeah, well, there you go. So, like I said, it's actually healthy debate, and I don't mind people getting in there and saying, Slater, he was a freakish talent, and you can't compare. And I understand that. There are arguments for both sides, but the graphic I put up, I'll just bring it up again because I showed it on the Sunday show, and a few of you might not have seen it. It's this graphic here. Alex Johnston, and I'll just move Graham's comment, is 189 and Billy 190, and it's not comparing them. It's just the fact where they are on the tally. And, the great Ken Irvine, 212. We were looking at his stats last night. He passed away at the age of 50, Ken Irvine, but back in the day, I think he could run 10 seconds flat, and he was a freakish talent as well. They couldn't get anywhere near him, but he's got a 212 all-time tally, and AJ's only, 23 away from it now. So the way he's going to get there. He's going to be the greatest of all time. And regardless of people saying, this is this and that, like, look at Beaver Menzies. He's fourth on the list, and he was a forward. So if you everyone that's done it has done something really, really special there. And yeah, anyway, it's good for the Bunnies TV Facebook. Anyway, I've had over 6 million impressions in the last 3 months. So that's over 2 million people a month are seeing stuff on Bunnies TV on Facebook, just on Facebook. So thanks for following me there, or wherever you follow me. It's a privilege to have people supporting me like that. I'll just get back to the comments, have a quick look. And there's a new name. Adelaide Smith said, AJ, great player, very underrated. Pick for New South Wales. What do you guys think? Well, I mentioned that today when I was talking about Keon and Jai Arrow. Will they keep their spots? It's a lot of times, as a lot of you know, the selectors do go on the form teams, and we're running last. So it's not helping your case for selection if your team isn't performing well. On the bright side, though, we might not lose Cody or any of the boys, because they asked Cody about it today, and he said, he'd obviously like to play if they picked him. But yeah, like I said, if it's picked on form, a lot of our guys will be overlooked just for that. Karina Haas joined us all the way from Germany. Guten Tag. She loves the Rabbits. She loves Bunnies TV. She's a star of the show. And here's Jason Whitney. So g'day, mate. Come on. Speaking of wingers, we know you're busting to put up the New South Wales under 19 squad you're in. Cheers, mate. Well, I did put that up. I put up a couple of New South Wales teams. I was going through some old photos, and I found my old under-15 CHS New South Wales team, and we went up to Queensland and won the Australian Championships. And I put that up because there's a few faces in there, like a few guys that went on and played first grade. But then I had the under-19s photo as well, and there's a few guys from the 15s that went up to the 19s, and we went up and played the curtain raiser, the State of Origin game 1, I think it was, in 1987, and we beat Queensland in the 19s, and we had an all-in brawl, and the all-in brawl was all that I can remember from the game, because it was on Wide World of Sports the next day. And my memories of that game is I just felt like I got hit with a brick in the back of the head by a big Queenslander who snotted me in the all-in brawl, but we did beat the Queenslanders. And I remember at the old Lang Park, like the old cauldron, and running to score or do something, and there was all the State of Origin guys sitting there watching us, and I thought, how cool is that they're watching us? And it was quite funny. And then another memory, it's the game when Eddinghausen scored a late try, or was it Mark McGraw? Mark McGraw scored a late try and broke the Queenslanders' hearts. It was Alfie Langer's debut as well. And so they were filthy. They were fuming when they were walking off. And all the 19s boys were sitting behind the bench of the Blues. And one of my teammates, Wally Lewis, was walking off, and he was steaming, and one of my teammates said, sucked in, Wally. And as he said it, Wally looked straight at him and come storming over and wanted to say, what did you say? And we all just it was a funny moment. And so I digress. We're going to talk about the New South Wales Cup and the Flegg in a minute too. And I've also got that Uncle Joe Walker. I've got to show you that. Here's a nice comment. Thanks for your great coverage, great Bunnies coverage, mate. That's Sam on YouTube. Well, thank you, mate. Now we've got someone asking about the 2014 grand final. So it's been 10 years. I've got some good memories of that. But before I forget, let me just talk about Uncle Joe. So Uncle Joe designed the Rabbitohs. I'll get rid of that comment first, even though I do like it. Thanks, Sam. Thanks again. Uncle Joe designed the Rabbitohs jersey, the one they were talking about today. And I was sitting there with my mate Ranger just on the laptop waiting for the interviews to come up, and Uncle Joe walks out. And he's sitting there talking to Ranger, and they were doing some stuff. And I said, "Oh, you're the guy that designed the jersey." I'd never met him before. And he's a terrific guy. And this just goes for about a minute, but just have a listen to my chat with the Indigenous Jersey designer. He's a brilliant artist to some of his stuff. We looked on his phone. He's artistic. He's created this mud crab and, some of his art's unbelievable. I wish I had some more, but this is Uncle Joe Walker, who created the Indigenous 2024 jersey. I'm here with Uncle Joe Walker as someone walks past wearing your jersey. So you designed that Indigenous jersey.
Mate. Oh, it just makes me feel, 10 foot tall and bulletproof here, like seeing my designs every year. And not only that, I get my daughters to help me.
You feel a sense
you
feel a sense of pride, don't you?
Oh, man, the pride is just unbelievable. It's just, and the way South take it on and then welcome it all,
There's a bit of a story behind it too. We're just talking about the different totems, and it's you work with the players and work out how you're going to do it.
Well, they sent a brief to me and saying what they wanted. So when I look at it, and then I think, right, Alex Johnston, where he's from, and then first thing I asked the club guys,
Alex is a TI.
TI, but I put their totems on from where they're from.
It doesn't make any difference.
And it just represents them and their family and where they're from.
Yep.
And all the boys here too, and to hear that coming from them, mate, it makes this here come out more, and be very proud what I've done to represent them.
So there he is, and it was just as soon as I pressed record, that lady walked past with the jersey on. It couldn't have been any better, and it wasn't planned. She just happened to do it, and so we all looked at the jersey, and he is very proud that he's done that, and it's an awesome-looking jersey. It's so well designed, and then towards the end, she walked back past again. So she's always at training, but it was just quite a funny moment there. And there's more to that interview, so I'll put that up, the full interview up later. And my mate Ranger starts talking about when we were at the Roosters game and Renault scored that famous try. So it's a good chat. And then, Uncle Joe was out getting photos with players and all that. But, like you said, you heard him. He's that proud of the fact that he's done that. We'll bring up the 2014. So I still cry thinking of the bell being played as our boys ran out in the GF. What's your favourite memory? Well, I had a great day. Me and the missus went to the game, and we went down for the lap of honour, and we were sitting in the corner when GI scored and did the goanna, and we had the game won. And I just remember sitting up there in the crowd and just knowing we won the GF, and we were there to witness it. It was such a good feeling. It was, tears in the eyes, and you get goosebumps thinking about it even now. And I went down to the lap of honour, and instead of going the way they usually go, they come the way that past us. So we were lucky to see the guys with the trophy straight away, and Kirasami Avar was there holding it up, and awesome time. So then me and the missus, we always planned to go back to the juniors, Kingsford, for the victory celebration, but we weren't sure we were going to get in. So we'd packed the car with a esky, and we were just going to have a street party outside the club if we couldn't get in. But we got back to the club and we got in. And so we're in there waiting for the team to come back, and the team came back. They had a function upstairs, and you needed a wristband, and I didn't have a wristband. So we tried to walk up to the door and just say, look, I'm a former player. Can I come in? He goes, mate, no, you haven't got a wristband. We can't let you in. So it was me, my missus, and another guy that we were with. So we walked away, and we walked to the side, and there was a fire door open. We walked straight into the function with the players, and we get in there, and George Burgess is on the stage with the trophy singing, "We Are the Champions." So, it was a dream come true. I seen Jason Clark, me mate, the botany boy. His dad grew up in this street. and hugged him, and I spoke to Madge, and it was just an awesome night. I stayed there the whole night till the lights came on and they kicked us out. So that was my memories of the 2014 grand final 10 years ago. We're due for another one. And here's one. Duncan should be number 13. So that's Huey Pahi Williams. Well, yeah. Well, Keon's 13. And Duncan will come on. And I don't know if you give Keon a break or not. Here's Alex. Thanks, Uncle Joe Walker. Yeah, thank you, Uncle Joe. He's a champion. So here's a photo. I've got another photo here of him. So here's a photo of him out with the boys. That's one with Gags. And there he is. And like I said, he's a brilliant artist. And I was asking him what he does, and he just does at home drawing, and he hasn't got a gallery or anything. He needs to sort of try and set something up. And while I got here, I did run into Baby Davey, and there he is with a big smile. I asked him, I said, mate, we missed you, because he came off, as you know, and he didn't come back on. So I think he's had maybe an illness or an injury, but he's back this week, and yeah, we're going to need him. So there you go. And Richard Nassif's joined us. Hello, mate. Yeah, I've got the Storm Check jacket on because I was about 5 hours I was out there today, and I had the Rabbitohs, my Bunnies TV stuff on, but I threw it in the wash and I just threw the Storm Tech jacket. These are quite good. This is like 2 years ago, but great for at the footy, the Storm Tech jackets. They're worth about $300, but worth every cent. So this was a few years ago. That was great from Uncle Joe. That's great design on the jersey for this next Indigenous round. I forgot to tell I am Queensland. Yeah, from the Queenslander. And we've got Talia Sky Grace comes to. We get Wayne next year. I'm happy for that. Yeah, well, put a smile on a lot of faces. I was sitting there at the Rabbitohs Centre today. Like I said, I was there for 5 hours and I was on the laptop. And Hutchie, one of the employees, come up to me and said, "Oh, did you hear the news?" I went, "No." And let me just get rid of Davies' photo there. And they said, "Oh, Wayne Bennett signed." I went, "Oh, beauty." So good. And I just had an old blurry photo of him that I put up. And I don't usually like doing that, putting up blurry photos, because we like putting quality content up here on Bunnies TV. But, I just put it up and said he signed, and it was great. So, yeah, it was really happy that, he's come back, even though, he's not always that good with the media, but he's always good for some quality content. And he's, the bottom line is he's the best coach this country's ever seen, probably this in the world. So we need something like that. We need a bloke that's going to come in and turn our fortunes around. So, yes, we're all happy. Talia, that's a good comment there. So, it's got to go. He said, mate, he's got to go. Big shout out to you, all the staff, for making the club the best part of my life. And thanks, JD, for your coaching. Cheers. There you go. Nice comment, mate. Then see you later. Thanks for joining me on the show. And, it was nice to hear some kind words. And Karina said, Joe does a really good job. And yeah, she's awesome. So yeah, Karina does the best. She speaks German as her first language, and she gets on and chats, and she's a real fan of the Bunnies and loves interacting and supporting the team and the show. And Richie Nassif said the jerseys are great. Yeah, they are. So I went and I've got more content coming. So have a look on Bunnies TV. I've got a reel coming up where I do a 360 of the jersey, and you get a real good close up of it in 4K. And if you look at my AJ video interview, is premiering in 26 minutes, and he talks about the jersey and how they designed it and why all the different totems are on there, and that AJ's represented by the crocodile. And yeah, and he goes through and talks about the jersey, and he's a good man. He's forgiven me his time, AJ. And I didn't grab Cody or Gags because I've done them recently, so I'll just let them do their thing. And Jimmy said something that only the best comments get featured here, Jimmy. So, and if you're bagging a bloke in the club or a coach, you're not going to see the light of day on my show. Let me tell you that. So let's move on to before I do, there is a young fella, like I said, a young artist that's going to be performing at the footy. There's the New South Wales Cup that's on at 5:05. There's a whole range of entertainment, and there's some banners being given out to hold up for the try. Hopefully we get to hold it up a fair bit. So, yeah, it's going to be big. And the New South Wales Cup is on. And I'll just get rid of Richard's comments there. And here's Ryan Moore. Here's a nice comment. Bunnies TV is awesome. Thanks for everything you do, guys. No worries, mate. It is I love doing what I do. And like they say, you do a job you love, you never work a day in your life. I've got a real job. It's a night. I've just come off 4 night shifts, and I had 2 hours sleep this morning, and I leapt out of bed, and I was over at the Rabbitohs Centre, and I was having a coffee at the Borough Cafe. And shout out to Ricardo and Karina there. They're doing a tremendous job there. And I've tagged them in a photo I took, and they come out and tag me from behind when I was filming the ceremony and that. So yeah, they're good people, and good people, good things should happen too, as far as I'm concerned. And we're going to move on to the New South Wales Cup, but like I said, the comments keep flowing. I love that we interact on this show because, I'm up here on my own, but I don't feel like I am because I've got, there's a group of people sitting in there chatting with me, and a lot of the comments that you say, like, Bunnies TV is awesome, are great, and we can talk about it. And here's one here from Will Gotsis. With my wife being Indigenous, I'm certainly grabbing one. Wife and girls in the house are Eels. Wow, that's going to be interesting on Saturday night. Boys in our house of Bunnies. Love the showdown this week. Welcome back, Wayne. He will turn the joint around with a goat. So there's a comment. And yeah, so all right. The household's going to be split. Rabbits and Eels. And in my bunnistv.au article, I did mention that we've had some great battles with the Eels over the years. And I used to remember some of the best ones were at Redfern Oval when I was a kid, going there with my brother and my dad, and there'll be close games. And, we were always the battlers against this high-flying Eels side, and we might end up, kicking a field goal to win. And we didn't get much joy back then, but every now and then we would get them, And then later on when I started playing, I played in some really good battles with the Eels too. So, I know the history of playing against these guys, and it's going to be a big one. And Jason says, cheers to Latrell and Cody for taking time to pose for pics with my niece's young fella during Magic Round. He didn't want one with Cookie because he didn't have shoes on. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they do always take the time. It was good. Trell was getting photos today. They're all getting photos, and Cody always gives you your time. And Will Gotts said, true Marvel, Mavo. Thanks, Ledge. Yeah, cheers for that. Dean James said, did Dion get injured, or was the coach just trying something new? I think he's just trying something new. I did mention Dion when I was filming the training footage this morning, and he did show glimpses of what he can do. I think late in the game, I was watching the Fox coverage, and Brandy Alexander saw him make a run. He goes, oh, look, he's good on his feet. He should be doing that more. So it's very hard for a young fella to assert himself in first grade like that. But, I think as he would have grown in confidence, we would have seen more of that. Unfortunately, we haven't really got the time to wait for him to gain that experience. I mean, Pete Mamazelos, when I asked him about Dion, he said, we played together for Maroubra Lions, and whenever we wanted someone to put something magic on, we'd give the ball to Dion, give it to Dion, and away you go. So, yeah, he's a good player, but I think, the fact that he's on the extended bench, he was running around fine today. I don't think he's injured. I think he's just been dropped back to 18th man because we need to try something different. D said, thanks, Mavo. Big Sammy has got Warrington into the Challenge Cup final. Well, there you go. I did see that, and I think he was walking around clapping to the fans, and yeah, Big Sammy boy, congratulations to him. It's our loss was their gain, wasn't it, really? So, New South Wales Cup. Now, there's a new face in the team. I don't know if anyone knows who it is, but let's just scroll down to it. It is Brandon Mansfield in the centres, and I've never seen his name before. So it's a mystery to me. I watched the game out there at North Sydney Oval, and the Bears are a pretty good side, and they powered to a big win, but we scored a nice try at the end with a couple of really neat flick passes. But yeah, there's a new name in there. That'll be the curtain raiser out there. The gates open at 5 o'clock. New South Wales Cup at 5:05, and there's a whole lot of things going on out there, and hopefully we win all 3 grades. Now the other, I'll just switch back to the Flegg now. I've got my banner here. So Jersey Flegg, and now we're getting some joy out of these boys because they've been winning, and it's and And breaking news for the Jersey Flegg, young star Hazen Mellors makes his long-awaited return from injury, and he can play. He came down with Jai Gray and Liam LeBlanc, and he's had a wretched run with injuries, but he's finally back. He was out there today running around. I knew he wasn't far away. I even said that this morning. He can't be far away because he looks fit as. So, unfortunately, Hayden Malcontine's dropped back to the bench, the extended bench, I think, who's been playing great footy because Hazen Mellors is back. He's big. He's an ex-basketballer. And that game's on at Urco Oval at 11 a.m. And the reason these games have been at Urco Oval is because Redfern sheds have got flood damage that has not been repaired. So I hope they can repair it soon, because I'd much rather call the games at Redfern Oval because there's a calling position, a proper calling position, as opposed to Urco where there isn't, because there's all beams in the stand there. So that's why we had to sit down the front the other day and the rain came in anyway. But yeah, I'm going to try and do the Eels game on Saturday. We're running 5th and the Eels are down running 12th. They're not going too well, a bit like the first grade. So hopefully our boys can continue on. Like I said, the forwards are playing well. Our forwards are awesome at the moment, the Jersey Flegg. And I had a chat to Eddie Payer, the blue shirt, former Rabbitoh, sitting there in the cafe this morning, and he said the same thing. He said, Coach Tippy's got them going great. He's got them flying. And also Kel O'Brien, the bear. And they're a happy squad. So it's encouraging. Our 21s at least have got some talent in there, and maybe a few of those boys will come through and be playing first grade in a year or two. You don't know. All right. So, yeah, I just wanted to jump on. It was all a bit rushed because I've got content. I've got members and subscribers content only coming up too that I shot, and some more interviews and chats and to put up, but I'll do that a bit later. Looks like Captain's Run will be live and free Friday morning. If you want to jump back on there and have a look at that, it's going to be another interesting one with Jack and Cody in there. So will that be the spark we need? Jack and Cody in the halves. You know, two blokes that have, you know, played hundreds of NRL games between them. What is it? 450 between them. So that's a lot of experience. And, you know, it was encouraging to see Cody score that try last week. You know, Jack, you know, there was a pass there that he usually 99 times out of 100 hit you on the chest, but it went behind AJ. But look, I'm just hoping that we play the brand of footy that we know we can play. And yes, we're still down on some troops. And I spoke to AJ about Stretch Campbell Graham. He's out there running around, and I thought, he mightn't be far away, but I think he mentioned 8 weeks, which wasn't good. But you know, AJ might not have known. Don't quote me on that, but he's not coming because he's had a major operation. So I suppose it's the fact that he's running around doesn't mean he's ready for contact yet. And here's one from Will Gotsis. Jack with his hands on the ball more. Bloody exciting to see him at 6. Well, it is, you know, and hopefully a change is as good as a holiday. And well, I spoke about it the other day. Last week against the Cowboys, we had a better completion rate. Things were getting better. There were some encouraging signs. We scored a few tries. Trell was on a bit of a mission, but we just had trouble executing. And we've got to get that right. We've got to find a way to start winning football games. And who knows? We go all right at home. It's a big occasion. Let's hope that the fans will get some joy. So head out there. If you're not doing anything Saturday night, and watch the boys. So like I said, live Captain's Run on Friday, and then Sunday footy show. I might do one a bit later. I've been doing it at 11 in the morning. I might do one in the evening. I've got something on Sunday, but there'll be content on Bunnies TV to come. And like I said, AJ's exclusive interviews coming up at 6 o'clock. I'll let you go. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. You're all legends. It's Indigenous Round. We celebrate our rich Indigenous culture. We've got plenty of Indigenous boys in the team. They've got a great jersey, and we've got a new coach. the only way is up off the bottom of the table. We've got to defend better, obviously, too. So defence and, 2 tries to AJ to go into second place all time, go past Billy Slater, and then the chat will blow up again on Facebook. Stewie A. Finn's joined us on Facebook. He said, we need to imply some sort of game plan so Trell slips into the centres in good territory. Well, I know there's still the Trell to centres thing, and I don't think it's going to go away. But unfortunately, I don't think we've got anyone that's going to play fullback at the moment. And as you know, Trell takes the high balls, and we haven't really got anyone else who can do that. That's another area we've got to improve on too. So we've just got to play better, defend, play better, and hopefully we get one win and then a few more come. The finals aren't out of reach yet, but if we don't start winning soon, then they will be, and the year will be a write-off. Thank you, Will Gotsis. See you later. We'll be back with another show on Friday and then maybe Sunday. And thanks for supporting Bunnies TV. Cheers.